Hey everyone, this is Cynthia, psychic and astrologer. Now, it's been quite a busy time for me that I haven't been able to do the monthly horoscopes for all signs. I've been doing them for the website, but not for video. It's just when I have a lot of readings to do, I can only make so much time for certain things. But what I wanted to do with this video is to do a review over what you can expect for the month. Doesn't matter what sign you are, but just astrological events that are going to be coming up for you to kind of keep an eye out for. There's a lot happening on April 1st when I do post the monthly horoscopes on my website. There'll obviously be details there for your particular sign. But with this video, I want to detail events that are going to be coming up for you to keep an eye out for. So we're just going to review everything that's going to be coming up. So, for you to just monitor. All right. So let's get started. Now, on April 5th, we are going to be having a full moon in Libra. Now, this full moon will be at 16 degrees. So, pretty much anybody born from like the first of the month to about the 10th of the month will definitely feel this full moon the strongest. But you definitely just want to keep an eye that this is going to bring about a time of compromise, collaborations, trying to work with others, and this could be whether it's with relationships, projects, work projects. Now, Saturn does connect very well with it, but Mars does square with this full moon. But what I do like is that Venus and Neptune really connect very well with the full moon. So that's why I feel there's that sense of compromise. And I think that actually helps to make things flow a lot easier. So if there have been any kind of disagreements, arguments, um, difficulties and relationships. It could even be professional types of relationships. The next 2 weeks is actually going to be a very, very good time in helping things kind of run a lot more smoothly. So, one of the big events for the month of April will be the new moon solar eclipse on April 20th. Now, it will be in the sign of Aries. Now, one of the big things that I always point out to everybody is keep an eye 30 days before an event of an eclipse. So that would have been last month's or March's new moon, which happened to also be in Aries. Now, we are slowly moving away from the Taurus Scorpio eclipses and slowly moving into the Aries Libra eclipses. And that'll begin this year. So, as we are transitioning into that, you're going to start to focus the energy in a different part of your life where Aries starts to affect you. So, you definitely want to keep an eye, whether it's your own birth chart or your transit chart, where currently Aries, the sign of Aries, is affecting you. And the energy of a solar eclipse lasts 6 months. But because we will be seeing more eclipses, this could be something that will be continuing on for the next year and a half. Now, with this solar eclipse, connects very well with Saturn um, and Mars, but there will be some challenges with the Sun, Pluto, with the Sun and Pluto, the Moon, Sun, and Pluto. So this is actually going to be a time, maybe it's of change. And usually when I notice a time of transition, transitions can bring changes. Sometimes the changes may be difficult. Sometimes the changes are expected, but not where you were planning it. Or maybe you were planning on it, but just changes can be difficult to do sometimes, especially if it relates to relocating, moving away, maybe moving to another city, a country, another home. So it's definitely a time of what I would call time of transition. Now, the sign of Aries is it's the first sign of the horoscope. And it usually is an indication of new beginnings, a new start, a new chapter in your life. Now, the new chapter could be something, like I said, expected, maybe something that you are starting, like a business venture. The only little minor concern that I would have the negative side of Aries, if you're an Aries, I apologize in advance, but this is a bad side of an Aries, and that is sometimes you can begin something, but not complete it or finish it. So maybe the positives of having a positive Saturn connection with the eclipse is that it creates um, a grounding, stable effect. So it helps you to get more centered and focused, maybe to complete that project, to move forward with that business venture or side venture. It doesn't necessarily have to be the big change. It could be more of a subtle plans of changes. So you definitely want to keep an eye on this because this is going to bring about a time of new opportunities there. Now, it just so happens that on the same day, the sun starts to enter the sign of Taurus. Again, another very grounded sign that creates more of that stability and that security there. So it's sometimes easy to have the thought in the head, the plan, but moving forward with it can sometimes make you feel doubts, may make you feel like it's too much work, never mind. Well, having the Saturn there with the eclipse and then the sun entering Taurus, I think is going to help that from the negative part of Aries to more positive of Aries, where it gets things moving forward, makes plans and actions occur. Get ready. We are going to have another Mercury retrograde starting May, April 21st. Now, the Mercury retrograde will actually be in the sign of Taurus. Now, it will not go direct till May 15th. So, this is actually going to be a time where you may have for the next few weeks issues with electronics, vehicles, computers, cell phone, telephones, the internet, emails, text messages. Vehicles, I would suggest if you have already been having some issues with a vehicle, you may want to have it checked early on because there could be major problems once that retrograde cycle hits. Certain things may be just difficult to avoid. Internet issues, email issues. It may not be anything that you're creating, it's just issues with the internet. Electrical now, computer issues. So, if you definitely have been having some issues with your computers, maybe this is a time to fix it or replace it. Now, the other thing too is messages, text messages, email messages. Sometimes it might be easier to directly communicate with someone versus trying to explain something through a text message and it does not come out the right way. And then it may create a confrontation. So that might be something you may want to be aware of. But overall, from everything that I keep getting, it's just the time to be wary of the Mercury retrograde. Also, be aware where the sign of Gemini does fall in your chart, as that could be an area when the Mercury retrograde hits. That can be an area where this Mercury retrograde will affect it the most. Finally, just wanted to mention Venus enters Gemini on April 11th. The Sun enters Taurus on April 20th. Um, Remember, for a short period of time, we have Pluto in Aquarius before retrograding back in Capricorn in about a couple months. So keep an eye for that for on April 3rd and on April 3rd. So that's kind of a significant day. And also keep an eye on the days of April 25th and April 29th. On the April horoscopes that I'm going to be posting, I will explain more for your particular sign, what you could expect for these particular days. So check that out on April 1st. In the meantime, like I said, just kind of keep an eye what's going to be coming up throughout the month. I will give more details what to expect for your sign.